Actually, that's a good question, Zatty. That's a good question, Zaddy. Hang on a second, I'll shut the door. That's a very good question. I have been progressively preaching more and more truth to myself continuously since about 1996. Now, as a child, I had great visions. I used to speak in tongues when I was a very young child. I saw things when I was a very, very young man, right? God saved me on a cliff when I was 12 years old. I'll tell you the story later on. But what happened when I was 45? God revisited me and he brought back to memory many things he'd spoken to me and shown me. And I said to myself, I know it's very, very strange. Often we have things happen in our lives and we don't give much momentum to it. We don't give much presence to it. We tend to overlook it or say, oh yeah, that's all right, no worries. But later on, hindsight, we look back and we say, yeah, well that was very important. God actually said that to me. And what we do is we sort of say to God, well, God, remember when you said to me when I was 12 years old? You said to me, because I had polio as a child, right? I had polio. I got one leg that's 2 inches shorter than the other, and I limp a lot and I carry on, and I'm 62 years old, but I'm still walking and strong as any other man, right? And when I was 12 years old, he said to me, you know, one day you will be God, right? That's what God said to me, right? He said, fear not, one day you will be great, you are God, right? I was 12 years old when I heard that. He said, fear not, because I was complaining about my polio. I said, how come I can't play soccer with the other kids? How come I can't play hockey with the other kids? How come I can't run? How come I can't swim? How come I can't do that, you know? And I was very limited physically when I was a very young child. I was in hospital having surgeries, bone grafts, muscle transplants, tendon grafts, physiotherapy and everything else. I was in wheelchairs and crutches most of my life, right, as a child. And I was in bed one night and I was laying there and I said, God, how come I can't do all these things the other kids do? And this is what I heard. Fear not. One day you will be great. You are God. Right? I heard that. Fear not. One day you will be great. You are God. And when I heard that, I had a smile from ear to ear. And it has never disappeared. I've still got that smile from ear to ear. God spoke to me and told me, I am God. Right? When God says you are God, fear not. Right? I heard the voice of God when I was a very young child. And I've walked in the light of that in certainty ever since, you know. But, you know, as I went on in the world, I got married, had families and that, and fell into the world a bit, you know. But God reminded me when I was 45 years old. He reminded me of that. And I said, that's wonderful, Father. That's wonderful. And I said, I dedicate my life to you. I dedicate my life to you. Father, become me again. God, become me again. Because I understand. See my name before the world was? See my name before the world was? I understand now that I am with God before the world was. And God said, so is everyone. Everyone here is with me before the world was. And we read in the Bible many, many things about that, right? And I can tell you about that, right? It says, those he foreknew, he predestined to become sons of God in his image and likeness and everything else, right? And those he knew, those he foreknew, those he called he justified, and those he justified he glorified. And the works were finished before the world was. We are his workmanship made in advance. It is finished. Everything was made before the world was, right? So we know that before the world was, We are whole, complete, made in Him. Everything's perfect. And then we came into the world, and this world is a delusion of separation of our reality. We lost connection from God, right? But He still knows we're perfect. He still knows we're whole. He still knows we're absolutely brilliant and amazing, right? And that's what happened to me. I started to realize things within myself that He said to me, right? And I started to see visions. And I started to see this life appearing in other people. And I started to say, hey, this is amazing. This world's false. This world is a total falsity, right? And yet we are complete in Christ, who has overcome the world and is before the world. We are the Word with God before the world was. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. And we are that Word. We are the Word with God. We didn't exist outside the Word. We are the Word with God before the world was. We are the Word with God before the world was. And that's us. We're complete. We're whole in Him. And Jesus recollected it into Himself, and He said, hey, Father, I've done it. It's finished. I've seated myself in heaven. I've gathered every member of creation into myself as my own divine formulation. And I'm seated back in heaven. And now I'm shining forth the revelation of that achievement. And those who can receive it will receive it. It's finished, right? It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's over and done. It's finished, right? And since we are risen in Christ Jesus, we're to set our mind upon those things which are above and lay up treasures in heaven. This treasure in the earthen vessel, we're to look within ourselves and find that rich treasure, the Spirit without measure, and hand all things to God, that we might find ourselves risen in Him and put all things beneath our feet. Right? It's amazing. I know I'm preaching there, Zatty, but I go on and on and on because I know God is you, God is everyone, God is everything. And I found it myself. And how can I deny it? Because God can't deny Himself, right? Hand over the mic. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Hand over the mic.